Let's welcome in Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV, fourth year of the program. I want to thank you all for watching and supporting the show the past 3 years, our advertisers, race teams, and just general race fans. And yes, we are into year number 4, and we're going to try to give you a lot to set the stage for 2 different, maybe 3 different racetracks here on today's program. We're going to talk about some new things at the Crosse Speedway, both involving pay-per-view and racing in general, and all kinds of things like that. Periodically throughout the season, I will have a new co-host this year. He is the other voice with me at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Dan Bailey is going to be doing some co-hosting of the program this year, where we can get him in the studio and do some shoots out and about. So we'd like to introduce Dan Bailey to the show. I want to remind you, the Seven Rivers Racing YouTube page just keeps growing. I've been seeing hits from at least 7 different states out there, so make sure if you can't watch the show, maybe you have a friend that can't watch the show in Arizona and they want to see what's going on with some of the drivers we'll have this year. Make sure you tune them in. Just go to YouTube and just to search for Seven Rivers Racing. You got their own channel on there, and all the shows are archived. Also coming back for the 4th year, it's now a multi-award-winning radio show that I host, the Mississippi Thunder Race Report on WKTY on Saturdays from 1 until 2. I'm proud to say that here recently, the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and the Milwaukee Press Club have honored me with a piece that I did last year when I dedicated an entire hour show to Dick Trickle. And we did the same thing here on the TV show. A lot of different interviews. We had Dick's voice, people that worked with him, all kinds of things in that hour show. And it won the Best Sportscast Award for 2 different agencies this year. So I want to thank the people that tuned in and got to watch that. Just found that out here a couple of days ago. It was a kind of a sad time to come out of winter. A lot of you know the passing of 24-year-old trunk monkey Caleb Miller was involved in a snowmobile accident, and we're just coming off. The voice is still trying to come back after emceeing for about 10 hours last Sunday. A huge benefit we had for the entire Miller family. Of course, many of you know Brad Worthen and Dakota Miller, brothers of Caleb. Mom Denise, father Billy, and sister Angie were all in attendance. Probably one of the biggest events I'd been to or been a part of or coordinating and emceeing along with Rick and Lynn Kohler that I've had in quite a long time. So we do want to make sure that people remember the trunk monkey this year. It's going to be kind of a different sense in the pits without Caleb, the number 8 or the 08, whichever he chose to drive, whether it was doing stunts or Thunder stocks or Hornets. It's going to be a big a pair of shoes and a big racing suit to fill out there in the pits this year. So again, we do want to congratulate and thank the people that came out for the benefit this past weekend. Trunk monkey Caleb Miller is going to be missed more than you can believe, not only at the races, but of course throughout the racing community. I want to bring in my guest today. He's going to kind of talk about the show and some other things going on. Rick Wilson is the station manager here at KQEG TV. And I'll tell you what, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking as I was making some notes today, 4 years ago you approached me and said, hey, you know, what would you think about doing a little TV show on KQEG TV for a half an hour each week to talk about the racing? And I tell you what, 4 years ago I never knew it would have this many viewers, the dedicated sponsors we've had, and it's become a fixture to a lot of people this year, or over the past 3 years, that it's part of their race week.
Yeah, many years ago, we put a similar program on the air many years ago with a different announcer, and it was, again, someone from the racetrack, and then he moved on. He left to take over his own track somewhere, and we didn't have anybody for a few years until I said, say, Dan, what would you think about this? And you were, yes. I mean, you didn't even think about it, you know. You said, yes, I'd love to do that.
Matter of fact, I'll do it. We had the conversation in the tower.
We did.
At the Crosse Speedway. I cut you off halfway through. I said, sign me up. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, just like that. He was down for it.
And it was great because a lot of folks have asked me, well, you don't work for Magnum Broadcasting. You really work for Midwest Family Broadcasting, with the partnership between the 2 entities, the 2 broadcasting companies, to let me do a radio show and a TV show and to be able to cross-promote them. I do want to thank you guys for letting me do that. And on behalf of Midwest, they thank you as well, because I think it's been a great partnership. And it was a great time because both shows started the same exact year. And we of course, have expanded interviews with drivers. We talked to the Matt Kenseth of the world and people like that via phone interviews. But it's been such a great connection. And the big thing I've heard a lot of people say is it's filled a void that this area didn't have for quite a long time.
Really didn't have an outlet for that anywhere around here. And we've had a lot of fun with it, Dan. You know, showing up at the Speedway during practice sessions, getting there early during Oktoberfest, and doing some things with Kevin.
The very first show you and I did last year was at the Speedway, and it was an ice bowl out there.
Yeah, wasn't that something? I mean, we've just had a lot of fun with it. It's been a real great experience for me. And now pulling in Mississippi Thunder Speedway and getting them involved in the program, I think that's been huge too. It's really turned it into more of a regional program where we're talking to people throughout the entire area, you know, about racing. I think it's a key structure now in the racing community, don't you?
Well, I do, and it's such a niche for dirt track fans and asphalt fans. No matter what kind of jokes you want to throw in there in between, you know, driving to an asphalt track on dirt or whatever the case may be. We've welcomed in the Mississippi Thunder Speedway not only because Dan Bailey and I announced there, because they are a gem of dirt tracks that I've probably ever announced or even gone to, yet they sit in Fountain City and really had not much more exposure than what Bob, Tim, and his wife and his other family members that are a part of the track could spend advertising dollars on. So we incorporated driver interviews last year. This year, we're going to be incorporating highlights like we do on this show. We usually bring you the last 2 laps of the features of the races at the Crosse Speedway. This year, we're going to bring technology into the studio as well, whether it's here or at the racetrack, and we're going to be giving you recaps of some of the exciting dirt action there with A-mods and B-mods and super stocks. And a lot of their drivers are going to be coming in the program. So it's going to be a nice little mix of asphalt versus dirt and vice versa.
I think a lot more people are getting exposed to that speedway out there. And in the past, I think it's had some rough, and I go back about 10 years or so now. It's had some rough reputation, but Bob has come in and done such a great job with that and turned it into a really great dirt track out there. And you see some great racing. I haven't had a chance to be up there during a race. We've been up there a couple times during practice and things, but I've seen a lot of the footage that we've put on, and it just looks so great. It really does.
Well, it's just the atmosphere. You have to bring a lawn chair unless you have one of the big 30 VIP suites that are up there. You got to bring a lawn chair, so you're going to get to know who your neighbor is, regardless of where you're sitting at, because you're that close to each other. And the food is outstanding. Again, I'll put my stamp on that mushroom and Swiss. I can't wait to dive into that one here on April 25th on the season opener night. But at the same rate, it's the people you meet, it's the racing that goes on. And then I go back to the Crosse Speedway. And it's so neat because there's so many similarities. The only big difference, they have a dirt track they race on. La Crosse has an asphalt track. But the food and the people and the race teams and the owners is just, I mean, what an exciting place to have racing, but here in western Wisconsin.
And you find yourself, and I'm sure it's that way up at Mississippi Thunder, but you find yourself being a part of that family. You just see you're accepted into that whole group of people, like in the tower or the safety guys. It's just really neat, the family feeling that you feel out there. You know?
It is, and it's that time of the year now that, of course, I'm supporting the Badgers here. That's why I don't have any racing apparel on. We've got Final Four this weekend. But it's a matter of, like you said, the family atmosphere and the racing and the chatter that people have during the week. It's kind of interesting. It's almost like the NFL. You got a Monday morning quarterback, and then you got people talking about, well, what's going to happen this weekend in the football field. Now I think we've given a good niche to this area to say what's going to happen at the racetrack this week. Who are your favorites?
Yeah, what's going to happen this year out at the racetrack?
Exactly.
We got a few weeks to talk, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment.
Yep, next segment we're going to break down the Crosse Speedway. They've got some new things you may not have known about this year. They have a new class. They have some new series sponsors. And the mall is back in the picture. We're also going to break down some new things at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway as well when the Seven Rivers Racing Show continues next on Coulee Region.
Get ready for the Thunder, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Racing starts at 7. Super stocks.
Modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks.
Street stocks.
E-mod.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style.
Tickets $12 for adults.
$5, 18 and under.
$8 for students. Or our family pack.
$25 for 2 adults and 3 kids, 18 and under.
Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder.
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Holman American Legion, Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
At Cousin Subs, we never settle for good. We always strive for better. Since 1972, we've been creating our signature Deli Fresh subs. We start with fresh bread that's baked every day. Then we freshly chop vegetables and slice the meat daily. It's how we do it, and always have. Why? Because you deserve better.
We are back, 7 Rivers Racing, KQE GTV. I'm the host, Dan Dyker. Dan Bailey is going to be co-hosting us through the program as well this year. My guest, station manager of this prominent TV station, Rick Wilson. And, of course, people may know Rick, but maybe they don't know you when it comes to racing because you're always behind the scenes of some of the things that go on at the Speedway, like live qualifications and the taping of Nights of Thunder.
Well, just to give you a kind of a shall we say, put it all together for you, we do qualifying every week live on the internet, so folks can watch that. When there is qualifying, if for some reason they don't have qualifying, obviously there wouldn't be anything there, but that's live at kqegtv.com, and I usually host that, and we just get a chance to look at some of the drivers and see how they do, who's going to be the fast time qualifier, see how they look as they get warmed up, shall we say, for the races that night. And then this year, now I'm going to go ahead and tell them about what's going to happen different this year.
I've got it written right here on my page.
What's going to happen different this year is we will encourage you to switch over to the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway website, where you will then be able to watch the entire races from beginning to end live on the internet via our cameras, of course. Now, what Chuck is going to do this year, they are going to charge for it. There's a small charge, $7.99 to watch the races, and I think that's terribly reasonable. You know,
it is.
He took a look at what's going on all over the country with this kind of thing, and this is the price he came up with, and I think that's very reasonable for anybody to sit at home and watch that. Now, what I do then is, as you know, the big voice you hear all the time is Dan's. Dan's always running the races and telling you who's doing what and where they're at. My job then is to take it from Dan when he's finished with the race and transform that back into a break, as we call it, or into the time between the races, if you will. And usually when you're watching the broadcast on our station, what you'll see is commercials, and then we telescope the races and come right back. That way you miss out on all of the, and maybe you want to miss out on all of the birthdays that they talk about, and the
50-50s,
and those pork sandwiches that are so good, and whatever else they talk about out there. You miss that, and you get it telescoped, so it's race after race after race with about a 60-second break in between them. Maybe that's why you don't hear or see my voice or myself at the races as much as you do Dan, because Dan is really focusing on the actual race themselves and introducing the drivers, and you do the interview after the late models are finished, on-track interviews and such like that. So that keeps him pretty busy. But the big thing that we're looking at this year, of course, is doing that pay-per-view and offering it to people. Now, this is going to be great, especially for drivers who come from outside the area. So if we have a driver that's coming up from Texas, we do, don't we? Scott Rand comes from Texas. Maybe he's got relatives down there in Texas that would really like to watch the races and see how he does that night. They're going to be able to do that just by getting on their computer and going to lacrossefairgroundspeedway.com, or it's lacrossespeedway.com, isn't it?
Yeah, lacrossespeedway.com. Just talked with Chuck here this morning, and he was saying that you'll be able to find the link on there. This will be for all of the regular season races. They're still deciding whether they're going to have the Smash-O-Ramas. And this will include Oktoberfest races like we had for when we started that last year. And you'll be able to find out more of the information, whether it's the radio show or the TV show. I'll be plugging that every single weekend. But if you need more information, either contact Chuck at the Speedway or just go to lacrossespeedway.com. And that very first race will be an afternoon race coming up here on April 27th. As we get into the La Crosse Speedway, starting tomorrow, which is a Friday, of course, this show airs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Starting April 3rd at the Valley View Mall in Onalaska, the car shows have returned. And this is going to be kind of an interesting thing this year, as if you're used to seeing the race cars at the mall several years ago, this is going to be on a rotating basis, so it won't be the same car there all the time. So you'll be able to see the late models, the Sportsman, the Thunder stock, some Hornets, maybe even some of the new class that we're going to try to talk about here in a couple of moments.
We should go out there and shoot a program out there.
I think we're going to have to do that, and we'll have to find out how many cars are there. Maybe on a given day we can shoot maybe 2 or 3 programs out there with 2 or 3 of the drivers. But
well, it'd be fun to invite our viewers to come out and watch us shoot the program.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to find out when that's going to be and try to let people know.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. So the next month, go to Valley View Mall, and no matter where you are in the mall, you're going to see different race cars helping advertise and support the La Crosse Speedway. And again, they're even going to have some Tundra Series super late models out there as well. So make sure you stop out to Valley View Mall and see what they've got going on there. There's a new sponsor name you're going to be hearing at the La Crosse Speedway this year. Of course, this will be year number, I think, 8. 7 or 8 for the street drags that come up on Friday nights at the Speedway. And we would like to welcome on Premier Powder Coating, who is going to be the title sponsor for the street drags this year. Kevin Ginther does a lot when it comes to racing in this area, whether it's street drags or the racing cars that go out there. So we'd like to welcome them to the La Crosse Speedway this year as well. And street drags, last year I think we had 14 different brackets, and minivans got the race for free.
Yeah, wow.
See if you can take the KQE GTV van out there.
I'm not sure that we'd do too well out there. I don't know that they'd appreciate it if I slipped off that track. You know, that might be something to see.
It's just a straightaway shot, 300 feet, and it's just, you know, as soon as that Christmas tree drop greens, you're gone.
All right.
Now there's some weekends Jesse's got nothing going on. You can send him out there.
There we go. Send him out with the KQE GTV truck, yeah.
When we come back, we're going to break down the schedule. Not every night, but we're going to highlight some of the big things going on at La Crosse Speedway and the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And we're going to talk about a new class that has already gained some interest at the La Crosse Speedway. When we return next on KQE TV.
We're here when the sun rises. And when the bread rises too. And we're here slicing a deli fresh every day. And every morning, we're chopping it all up. Why do we put so much effort into making it fresh? Because you deserve better.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Get ready for the Thunder, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Racing starts in 7. Super stocks.
Modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks.
Street stocks.
Viva.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style.
Tickets $12 for adults.
$5 18 and under.
$8 for students. Or our family pack.
$25 for 2 adults and 3 kids 18 and under.
Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder.
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
We're back one more time, the season opener of the Seven Rivers Racing Show here on KQE GTV, talking about season openers. The 26th consecutive season of NASCAR Whelen All-American Series racing starts at the La Crosse Speedway on April 27th with a Frostbuster. That is a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon race, which I can't wait for that. Hopefully the temperatures are going to be a little bit better, Rick Wilson. And I like the afternoon racing. I've heard a lot of positive comments about that.
I do too. I think Chuck's, it's a great idea because you take advantage of that afternoon sun.
Yes.
And hopefully, as long as it's not raining, you know, and nobody has to bring a snow shovel, I mean, it will get that afternoon daylight sun, and it should make for a much better day of racing. Family too. Sunday afternoon.
And
perfect.
They will have Hornets, the Outlaws, the Figure 8 Street Stocks. That's a new class this year. The Street Stocks are a 106-inch wheelbase OEM 6-cylinder car or truck. And I guess from what I've heard so far, the the number out there is, hey, I want to try this class. So you may have some new drivers in that class this year, or you may have some drivers that are going to be in several classes this year. But the new class will be featured along with the sportsmen and the late models on the very beginning opening afternoon of April 27th. Also coming up this year, there's going to be a fantastic 5-night. It'll feature 5 20-lap features, and that's going to be May 31st. Late models for 2, Mid-American stock cars 2, and the sportsmen will be driving 1. First time I think I've seen that as long as I've been at the Speedway. 5 double features in the same night.
Wow.
And they're going to have several other nights this year where you're going to expect double features as well. A couple of key dates, Smash-A-Rama. That's very entertaining. A lot of people come up for that. That's June 14th. And July 3rd, fireworks. That's going to be interesting because we're going to be racing Thursday night, July 3rd, for the fireworks, and then coming back and racing on Saturday. So, matter of fact, with the Saturday before, 3 races in a matter of a week.
Yeah, we'll have the races from the 3rd on that Friday night, and then probably Saturday night, and then we'll take the Saturday night races and have them on Thursday or Sunday and Thursday. So it's going to be a big week of racing on the TV station.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
And of course, all the replays are outstanding to watch, especially if you want to watch the replay of a win or a wreck, whatever the case may be. You can watch it right here. Another big one is Eva Destruction, September 6th. I know some things that are coming out for that one that you don't want to miss. Almost 5,000 people attended last year's Eva Destruction. We were packed from grandstand to grandstand. It was outstanding. Then Oktoberfest this year, the 45th annual, starts October 2nd and will run through the 5th. A couple of things you want to remind yourself on the Crosse Speedway this year is the website, lacrossespeedway.com. Now, they're on Twitter this year, at LAX Speedway. Make sure you do that. Like it on Facebook, and you can tag Instagram photos with hashtag Lacrosse Speedway. So you want to talk about being connected, Google+, Pinterest, Foursquare. Chuck's in the technological world this year.
Yeah, I guess. He said that they were getting involved in a lot of that stuff this year. Even thinking about, one of the things we discussed anyway was maybe a small radio transmitter so that they could have their own, just on-track radio station, so to speak, that you could only hear within that immediate area. But maybe in the future, not yet.
Right. You never know. I mean, they're doing a nice job of getting it out there and really getting into the technological area. Yeah. Shifting gears from asphalt to dirt. The Mississippi Thunder Speedway, this will be year number 6 under the helm of Bob, Tim, and family. This will be year number 4 that I've announced up there. Dan Bailey, who's going to help co-host this year, has been there 15 years plus. And Saturday, April 19th, Sugarloaf Ford in Winona. You're going to want to go out there. That's the preseason car show. What a great time to really get yourself enthused and jazzed on dirt track racing and hitting the car show first.
Yeah, you get to meet a lot of the drivers, see what some of the cars look like. And we're going to come up there ourselves. Dan and I will be up there with cameras, and we're going to see if we can't interview some of those drivers and basically kind of put together one of these shows, probably right there at the Sugarloaf Ford. Is it?
Sugarloaf Ford on the sunny side of Winona, and free hot dogs, free popcorn, free Coke, courtesy of Hy-Vee. And you'll be able to pick up big season schedules, the whole shebang right there on Saturday the 19th. New this year, they're coming back now. When I first came to the area 4 years ago, before he started announcing, one of the last races I got to watch in the grandstands, or as I was reporting on it, they had a Hornet class, similar to what the Crosse Speedway has. 8 or 9, 12. It just didn't fly. Hornets fly. Did you like that?
That was very good, yeah.
So they got rid of the class for a couple of years. Well, the interest is back this year. They've got 20 or 30 that are looking at racing. It's called the Johns Bay Flyers. Of course, John Radke, known in this area for the 5 or 6 Hornets he has. Matter of fact, I'm racing this year.
You are?
Along with Dan Bailey. John built us a Hornet car over the winter. Wasn't going to release that until the program today. It's going to be it's a blue Honda, the 7D7 for the announcers Dan and Dan show.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's the announcer bouncer. So Dan's going to race it 1 month. I'm going to race it the next month. So we're going to kind of flip-flop throughout the race season.
Okay. That'll be interesting. Don't flip-flop throughout the race season.
And I don't know if I'll have a wireless mic in the car or not, because sometimes my mouth can get the better of me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
this is a family entertainment program up there at MTS.
Is that only when you jump over swimming pools that happens?
Yeah, that one's... we might have to have Jesse dig that piece out here.
We got that footage somewhere, I'm sure, yeah.
So, yeah, new this year, check out the schedule at MississippiThunderSpeedway.com. The Johns Bay's Flyers are going to make their return to the Speedway. They also have a new rules package. The 600-plus mod divisions gotten so big at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. They have a new, completely brand-new built rules and accessory package that you can find on their website as well. So if you want to build a 600 mod, you'll be able to find out exactly how all those drivers have come together and said, this is how the wheelbase should be, horsepower, the entire setup. You can find that as well. Also, their program will be starting this year, hopefully, April 25th. It's a Friday night. Of course, they race on Friday nights up at Fountain City. A couple of big nights coming up this year. The 6th annual River City Rumble is July 4th weekend. The 6th annual Bayman Law B-Mod Challenge is August 1st. Jack Bayman, a prominent attorney in the Winona area, that's his own money. He's shilling out there, folks. I mean, he's given up $15,000, $20,000 for the past 6 years to help support that race. August 15th is USMTS Hunt Race. They'll be back again this year. Another USMTS special is going to be May 9th. The Amsoil Rock qualifying race is going to be August 22nd. That's a big one for those running for points there. 4 visits of the new Liquid Nitro 600 Mod Touring Series. I think it's $10,000 to win the points in that this year. That'll be a new set of races coming to MTS. And, of course, the 6th Annual Fall Festival is October 3rd and 4th. Before we let you go this program, our condolences do go out to the entire Inglet family. We did lose Mike Inglet, the former promoter of what was called the Veterans Speedway in Tomah, Wisconsin. Steve Jorgensen has now overtaken the track with Jim Thompson's widow, who still owns the rights to the track, and they've renamed it the Tomah-Sparta Raceway. They've got a new website out there this year. Their first test and tune will be on April 25th. Their first race will be on May 2nd, so you can go to their website and find out more information there as well. Also, you can find us on YouTube. You can also bring up Seven Rivers Racing on Facebook. I've got all the clues as to the drivers we'll have on what's going to be happening with the features of this year and a whole lot more.
And if you go to kqegtv.com and click on Seven Rivers Racing, you'll find a lot of the programs, pretty much all of the programs that we've done here are archived there, and you can watch them over and over again.
Yep, and that's good for the drivers, again, if they want to watch them out of the area, if they just want to watch themselves, like Kyle Swenson. I think he's watched himself 100 times off of 2 shows over the past couple of years.
That's the guy who keeps watching that show.
Keeps liking that same show.
Yeah.
So that is going to be it. This is, of course, if you're new to the program, the only spot you need to go when it comes to TV coverage. It's right here. It's the only one in western Wisconsin and southeast Minnesota. Even we've got some Iowa folks out there that are wanting to watch to see what happens with the Upper Iowa Speedway this year. You got it right here on Seven Rivers Race. I want to thank Rick Wilson.
One other thing, you know what we're going to do now, every Thursday at 5:30 when this program airs, we're going to put it on the internet. So you'll be able to go to our website and watch it on our website as it is broadcast. So that way we can extend out even further so people in Winona can get a chance to see it, people in Iowa can see it, wherever you want to see it, you can see it as it's being broadcast by going to our website, kqegtv.com.
Give myself a note there, too.
Yeah, something new.
We can change markers next week because this one was smelly once, and I'm not liking that too well right now. I want to thank Rick Wilson. He runs this whole station and the program, a part of Midwest Magna Broadcasting. Sorry about that. And I want to thank him for allowing me to do what I do here for my 4th year on the program. And again, I'm going to welcome Dan Daly in as well. Jesse's a photographer doing a nice job. I'm Dan Dyker. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with more. Chuck Deary's going to join us from Crosse Speedway on Seven Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV.